Hi students, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about atomic mass and molecular mass. Okay, so what do you mean by atomic mass? By definition itself it tells that mass of an atom. Atomic mass is nothing but the mass of an atom. So when we are talking about mass of any item, you say normally the unit to express the mass of an item is either kilogram or gram. For example, if I talk about sugar, some sugar to purchase from the market, the immediate question is how much quantity to purchase. The quantity could be 1 kg, 2 kg, half kg. In terms of kilogram, this is. If we talk in terms of gram, we can say 500 gram, 250 gram, like that. So normally either potato, tomato, any item you purchase, the unit to express the mass of that item is normally either kilogram or gram. So what about mass of an atom? Do we express the same unit, kilogram or gram, to express the mass of an atom? Any item we can express its mass in terms of kilogram or gram. But when you are talking about an atom, we can do it. But please remember that an atom is very small. It is very tiny particle, so that expressing its mass in terms of kilogram or gram looks very odd, and practically it is very difficult when we use its mass in terms of kilogram. Hence, the scientist that time in 1860, that time, what they did is they try to identify a different unit to express the mass of an atom, and that different unit is called AMU, which is called atomic mass unit. So AMU is the unit or scale to define the mass of an atom. AMU, it is called atomic mass unit. Okay, so what is the value of this AMU? If we want to compare the basic unit, that is kilogram or gram, which is a basic unit of mass of any item, if you want to compare with that, because AMU is a comparative scale or it is a comparative unit. So if this unit is compared with mass like kilogram and gram, how much value of AMU comes? Let's see that. Then we have to go to the basic definition of mass, of AMU, atomic mass unit. So the definition of AMU says that AMU is 1/12 of the mass of a carbon 12 atom. What scientists did, they picked a single carbon atom, okay, and they made it 12 parts. It's an imagination. You cannot make it 12 parts of an atom. So just an imagination. Let's say you make it 12 parts to an atom of carbon. So whatever mass is coming, the original mass of carbon, when you weigh it in a valence, that mass is nothing but is compared with the mass of an AMU scale. So 1/12 of original mass of atom in terms of kg or gram, whatever coming, that is nothing but they've equated with 1 AMU. What they are saying is AMU is 1/12 of mass of carbon atom. So they have taken a carbon atom, they weighed it, they made 1/12 part of the weight. So whatever weight is coming in terms of kg or kilogram or gram, that mass nothing but they have told that this is equal to 1 AMU. So let us determine first the mass of original mass of one carbon atom. The original mass of one carbon atom they have identified, they have determined in the valence is mass of carbon is 1.9924 into 10 power minus 23 gram. If I convert into kg, it will be 1.9924 into 10 power minus 26 kg. This is mass of one carbon atom. Now, as per definition, AMU is nothing but 1/12 of the mass of carbon atom. So then if I divided this mass of one carbon atom by 12 divided with 12, then I will get the mass of 1 AMU. So whatever mass is coming, that is nothing but I can say it is 1 AMU. In terms of AMU scale, it is 1. Let's divide me. Mass of one carbon atom is this. Mass of 1/12 carbon atom is nothing but, if I do it, 1.9924 into 10 power minus 23 gram divided by 12. Then it comes to around 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 gram. So when I divided the one mass of one carbon atom by 12, so I got 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 gram. If I convert into kg, I will got 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. So this is the value of 1 AMU, because we told that 1 AMU is nothing but 1/12 of mass of carbon. So 1/12 of mass of carbon is this. So this is nothing but 1 AMU. Understood? So the value of AMU is this. Let me erase and write again here the value of AMU. AMU is equal to 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 gram, or I can say 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. This is the value of 1 AMU. Why this value have determined? The scientists have determined because they want to express the mass of an atom in terms of AMU, not in terms of kg or gram, because this is very small, you see. So now they have equated this gram or kg is equal to 1 AMU. Now they determine the mass of one by one, mass of all the atoms, and they have equated it how much AMU it comes. When we purchase something, let's say potato from the market, normally what the vendor or the seller do, he use a balance, okay? Let's say a balance he use, okay? He use a balance, correct? So let's say you purchase 1 kg of potato. What he do? He put 1 kg here weight, and here he put potatoes. Potato, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato. When this two balance is equal, then we think that this much potato is nothing but 1 kg. So this much potato, the mass of this many potato is nothing but 1 kg. That is normally we determine comparatively, because one side he put the weight, another side he goes and adding the potato. When this both are equal, then he says that this quantity of potato, number of potato is nothing but 1 kg. Imagine the same thing has happened. Just imagine the same thing has happened during when the scientist was trying to determine the mass of an atom in a balance. Let us think in the same way so that it will be easy for our understanding. Let us, instead of 1 kg I am talking about here, I am putting 1 AMU. This is the weight I have taken in the left side. Now I wanted to know the mass of atoms. So consider the first atom, the lightest atom, hydrogen. When I put one hydrogen atom here, to check whether it is sufficient for the valence or not for 1 AMU. Surprisingly, it is seen that for 1 AMU, when I put one hydrogen in the right side of the valence band, it is almost equal. What does it mean? Then the mass of one hydrogen atom is 1 AMU, which is nothing but the original mass is 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 gram. In terms of kg, the original mass is 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. That is the mass of one hydrogen atom. Because one mass of one hydrogen atom determined is 1 AMU. So 1 AMU is nothing but this much kg. But normally, as we express the mass in AMU, so I can say hydrogen atom, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 AMU. Slowly they have started, determining the mass of other atoms. The second atom they went to is helium. First, when they put one helium here, they see that the helium, the right side is more or heavier than the left side. So whatever the value of AMU is there, so the helium is more heavier than the left side AMU mass. Then what they did, they tried to balance it, equate it, they started adding another AMU here, mass. Still heavier, another AMU, still heavier. So when they goes on adding AMU here, when they see that when they add 4 AMU mass here, that is equal to 1 helium. That means the atomic mass of helium was determined as 4. Like that, they have identified or determined the mass of all the atoms. For oxygen, 16. Carbon, 12. So all the atoms and their masses were determined by this method. Understood? So the mass of an atom is expressed in terms of AMU scale, which is called atomic mass unit scale. So in this way it is determined the mass of atomic mass of an hydrogen is 1 AMU, helium is 4, oxygen is 16, carbon is 12, so and so on. Then what is molecular mass? Atomic mass we understood. It is the mass expressed in terms of AMU scale, and we have determined how the masses of atomic mass of different elements or different atoms were determined that time. Okay, because the AMU scale, to determine the AMU scale, the value of AMU scale, we have taken one carbon atom, imagine to be made it to 12 parts. Then what is the actual mass in terms of gram or kg came, that is we have equivalent into 1 AMU. Now through balancing method we have determined all the mass of different atom in terms of AMU. So what is then molecular mass? We know what is molecule. Molecule is nothing but chemical combination of atoms. When atoms are chemically combined, we got molecules. For example, if I take H2O, here there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom is chemically combined to form 1 molecule. If I talk about molecular mass of water, molecular mass is nothing but mass of one molecule in terms of AMU. Atomic mass is mass of one atom in terms of AMU. Same way, molecular mass is nothing but mass of single molecule in terms of AMU scale. So for H2O, what is the molecular mass? Here we have 2 hydrogen atom, 1 oxygen. Just try to add the atomic mass of each of these atoms by the numbers, you will get their molecular mass. Here for hydrogen, the atomic mass is 1 AMU, so 2 into 1, plus for oxygen the atomic mass is 16 AMU, so 16. So 2 into 2 plus 16, so the molecular mass of water is 18. This is AMU. We don't need to write AMU always. We can write simply A, because this is a unit scale. Okay, AMU. If you talk about nitric acid, another molecule. What will be the molecular mass of nitric acid? Let's see. 1 hydrogen, 1 nitrogen, 3 oxygen. Just add their atomic masses. Atomic mass of 1 hydrogen is 1 AMU plus 1 nitrogen is 14 AMU plus 1 oxygen is 16. So 3 oxygen is 3 into 16. If I add it, 1, 4, 14, 48 is equal to 63. So molecular mass of nitric acid will be 63. Like that, you can calculate the molecular mass of any molecule just by adding atomic mass and the number of atoms involved there. I can say atomicity. Its atomic mass multiplied by its atomicity plus goes on adding all the atoms present in that and their atomic mass. So you will get the molecular mass of one molecule. Clear? So I am just trying a numeric problem for that. So you will understand the atomic mass in better way. Before trying the numeric problem, I just wanted to ask you one question. What do you understand by average atomic mass? We talk about atomic mass here. So what is average atomic mass? Because if you go to your periodic table, whatever element are there, 118 elements there, all the atoms, if you see in the top, let's say for carbon, well, like here, chlorine, the top left corner, there is a number displayed for each and every element in the periodic table or atom in the periodic table. What is this? These are called atomic masses. And these atomic masses is nothing but the same what we have determined, what we taught. But these are called average atomic masses. Why we call it an average atomic mass? Because see, atoms are exist in nature, in terms of their isotopes. I mean, the same atoms exist in two different mass. If you talk about, you go to the market and you talk about potato, let's say two variety of potatoes are there. One potato is smaller and another potato is bigger. Both are called potatoes. But if you see, the weight of the bigger potato will definitely be, mass or weight is more than the mass of smaller potato. Both are potatoes we call. Same way, atoms exist in nature in terms of the isotopes. Some are in terms of their atomic mass less than the other. So isotopes are nothing but the atoms, those who are existing as different atomic masses, in form of different atomic masses. So in that case, while considering in our day-to-day numeric problems, what we normally take their atomic masses, because they exist in isotopes, two different, same atom is present in two different masses, then what we do is we take their, average. We take their weighted average and we identify their, average atomic mass. That average atomic mass is always considered as their atomic mass, and that is you utilize in our numeric problem in all cases. If I give an example, let's say chlorine. Chlorine exists in two isotopes. One is called so the atomic mass of one type of chlorine is 35. The another, atomic mass of the same type, another chlorine is 37. So how do you take atomic mass? One is 35 and another 37. In this case, we have to determine the average atomic mass. How do we determine? In order to determine the average atomic mass of this chlorine, we have to know by how much quantity this 35 chlorine is present and how much quantity this 37 chlorine is present. Then we have to take a weighted average. So in nature, carbon 35 is present approximately 75%. That means if you take 100 number of chlorines from the earth, then 75 number of chlorine you will found around 35 mass, and another 25% you will get it as 37 mass. Now how to do an weighted average? Just make it 35 into how much quantity? 75% plus 37, how much quantity? 37 into 25%. Now 75 plus 25 is 100 divided by 100. The percentage it occurs multiplied by the mass plus the another percentage into its mass divided by total percentage. If you determine it, you will get around 35.5. So that's why if you see in the periodic table, the atomic mass there it is given is 35.5, which is called average atomic mass of chlorine, because they exist in two isotopes, one is 37 and 35, so their average atomic mass is 35. Like that, if you talk about boron, you talk about carbon exists in three isotopes, 12, 13 and 14 in a certain percentage, but the major percentage of carbon is isotope 12, around 98.9, so 99% around you get it carbon 12 isotopes. The other isotopes, carbon 13 and 14 are relatively very small. 14 is very, very small in minute quantities. Like boron, calcium, if you go to any other atom, they exist in a certain percentage in different form of isotopes. So in order to find their atomic mass, we have to find their average atomic mass by weighted average method, and in your periodic table, whatever given the atomic mass is, that is an average atomic mass of all the isotopes. Now I will come to the numeric problem what I talked, how to identify average atomic mass of another problem. If I have taken a problem here, see, I can say is carbon. No, let me take magnesium. Magnesium exists in three isotopes, three types of isotopes. Isotopes in nature. Isotopes in nature as magnesium 24, magnesium 25, magnesium 26 by 80%, 10%, 10% respectively. Find out average atomic mass of magnesium. So how to find? Here magnesium is given exists three isotopes. One is 24, atomic mass of one isotope is 24, atomic mass another isotope is 25, another is 26. It is telling that again, it telling that the percentage in way they exist is the first one, magnesium 24 exists as 80%, magnesium 25 exists as 10%, 26 also exists 10%. Now find out the average atomic mass of magnesium. How to identify? I told you the formula. So what is its mass? First one 24. How much percentage it exists? 80 plus the second isotope 25. The mass is, the quantity it exists is 10%. In the third one is 26 and the percentage is 10. The total percentage is 80 plus 10 plus 10. So 100. If I solve it, I will get it around 24.3. That means the average atomic mass of magnesium is 24.3. Clear? So dear students, from today onwards, I am planning to put one questions which is called the question of the day. This question I will write it now for you. please try to solve this question and put your answer in my comment box. In next class, I will check your answers and I will explain the problem again in my board to check whether your answers are correct or not. So I will repeat it in each and every classes. After the classes, I will put a question which is called question of the day, and you kindly solve the problem, try to solve and write your answer in my comment box, in my YouTube comment box, so that I know whether you have understood correctly or not. So today's question is here. I will write it. Carbon occurs in nature as isotopes of carbon 12 and carbon 13, okay, and average atomic mass of carbon is about 12. What is the percentage? What is the percentage abundance of carbon 12 in nature? So the question is, carbon occurs in nature. In the question it's given as in two isotopes. One is atomic mass of one isotope is 12, atomic mass of another isotope is 13, and it is given the average atomic mass value is given. It is not given how much percentage the carbon 12 and 13 is available. That is not given. Just tricky. It's given the average atomic mass is given and the two types of isotopes of carbon is given. So it is asking, what is the percentage abundance of carbon 12 in nature, means how much percentage the carbon 12 is present in nature. You have to determine that. Okay, so please solve this problem and try to put the answer in my comment box so that I will explain it in the next class. So thank you very much for listening my class today. If you like my class today, kindly hit the like button. Please share my video and please subscribe my channel. Bye bye. Thank you.